This is Sam Storm.
What's going on, YouTube? This your man Trey Vito back with another Vitoverse reviews. This is week 4. I got some co-hosts here with me. This is Duchess. Now, normally she's actually here the whole time. She's always in the back over that way. I got another co-host. That's Pepper. You know what I'm saying? Normally, you know what I'm saying, she's not here. So she wanted to be a part of the festivities today. So I got my two soldiers here with me, my scroll soldiers, and we about to do this review real quick. Now, honestly, it's gonna be a real quick review, so let me straighten that back up because I don't like the angle. Anyway, it's gonna be a real quick review. I can't talk today, crazy stuff. Anyway, this is a episode of I Told You So. I had a couple theories going into this episode, and 2 of them are very correct. So, you know what I mean? Now, these are theories I had either at the beginning or even before the show started airing. You know what I mean? So, the first one I want to point out, which is, something I ended last week's review on, is Rhodey's a scroll for this purpose. Right now, we're actually gonna call him Scrody because that's actually the trending name for Rhodey right now. This particular Rhodey. So Scrody. So definitely that was correct on my end. Now they didn't explain how or when or where's Rhodey at for real. Like, where's the real Rhodey? But definitely I was on point with that. So yeah, kudos to me, man. I got it right. Ding, ding, ding. You know what I mean? The second one was, now I didn't go into detail, but I did mention it last week, that Gaia wasn't dead because Gaia got shot by Gravik. She was the mole. She was the traitor for the Skrulls situation. So she ended up getting shot by Gravik, but she didn't die. Now, actually, I went over to, which if you haven't guys done so far, go over to Winging It Podcast with Jay and Vicky. I'm gonna leave a link in the description for the last week's fresh take. But I actually left it in their comment section. I said, I don't think she's dead. I think she actually took some Super Scroll serum, and she probably has that healing ability, like Gravik. So that's exactly what happened. That was the opening scene this week. So, kudos to me again. You know what I mean? Ding, ding, ding. Hey, man, 2 for 2. Now, the third one is more towards the end of the series. I'm not going to tell that theory, but, But anyway, this week's episode, I have to be honest. I didn't like the pacing of it. For some people, I mean, it was right on point. Some people actually hate this series. You know what I mean? I don't hate it. I just didn't like this week's episode. There was just a lot of questions, and it felt like everything was rushed. I'm actually not even going to do like a total recap or anything like that. I'm just going to point out some highlights of the episode. So spoiler alert. Every time you click on these reviews, just know it's a spoiler alert. I'm going to be saying some things that was in the episode. So if you don't want your experience messed up by anything that I'm about to say, just click out, then come back, after you watch the video. You know what I mean? So, or the, the episode. Anyway, so, so the first thing I didn't like, this was kind of early, or not early, but I think maybe mid or something like that, but the exchange between Nick and his wife, to me, the flashback scene was cool, but at the same time, it was, I kind of felt like it wasn't necessary, but, whatever, you know what I mean? But it did have a little tie-in to the first Avengers movie, the New York situation, the invasion in New York. So that was like on the papers, and basically Nick kept a secret, kept his initiative, his Avenger initiative, a secret away from his wife. Mainly because of the scrolls, you know. That was the whole thought process of, you know, making this initiative or whatever, was because they had that whole situation with Captain Marvel, and that whole scroll situation with the I forgot the other race, the Kree, you know what I mean? So that was, you know, Nick's way of defending Earth, you know what I mean? So you got to keep it a secret away from someone that's, you know, the reason why he's making it in the first place, you know what I mean? So, you know, that was like a scene that was like needed as far as explaining this poem that she took a liking to, because Nick actually says it in that exchange with her later on. But yeah, so like getting into that exchange, I didn't like the fact that, you know, it was just, you know, Nick asked about why she took this face. It was like a little double cross type thing. I mean, the conversation stuff was good. I don't think I liked how fast paced it was, because at the end of this whole situation, they shot at each other. Nick pretty much is leaving her. They're getting a divorce. You know what I mean? So I didn't like just how quick it was. You know what I mean? I wanted there to be more emotion and drama in it. I guess I was looking for that. But we talking about two secret agents. You know what I mean? And she was a double agent in a sense. So, you know, I can understand it, but I didn't like that. Another thing I didn't like was Gaia only being shown one time in that whole, you know what I'm saying, the opening scene and talking to her father. You know what I mean? You know, I think they were trying to just basically focus in on, you know, the conflict at hand, that Gravik is planning another attack and framing Russia at this point. He's been framing all these people and stuff like that. I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? That whole little just rushing of it. I needed more of his dialect. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I needed him talking more. I needed more of his screen time. You know what I mean? And I think one thing I didn't like as well was the fact that in my mind, and I think in a lot of our minds, we thought that Gravik and Nick has this adopted father-son relationship, or son-father relationship type thing. And, you know, Nick's wife, you know, obviously would be, you know, the mother or something like that. None of that was the case. I don't think I actually liked the fact that they didn't, you know what I'm saying, do that, because now we don't really know why Gravik has this big giant, you know what I'm saying, like this big beef with Nick. Like I mean, we kind of know, but it's kind of like, you know what I mean? I needed more explanation, you know what I mean? So that's just me. So you know what I mean? I just want a little more juiciness. I want, you know, a lot more emotion in why we're at the point that we're in. So, you know what I mean? I just didn't like that. Another thing I didn't like was the fact that they didn't have Nick confront Scrody for being a Skrull. Now, honestly, I think that would pay off later on. You know what I mean? But they could have gave us a little more back story. But again, that's probably next episode or something. But I felt like I wanted just a little more on this episode. You know what I mean? It would have made the episode a little longer. But you know, for whatever purpose they're setting up, I hope this pays off. I just didn't like it as much. It just wasn't my favorite episode, but it did explain a lot of stuff. And I'm sure, and I know there's probably going to be a lot more people that's like, oh no, this is the best episode of the season. For me, I just wanted more emotion in it. You know what I mean? And it kind of just if I'm not emotionally into it, then it kind of ruins everything else. You know what I mean? The action, all that. Like, Gravik actually showed off his group powers, and it it didn't, oh snap, you know what I mean? I wasn't already emotionally like invested in this episode that much, you know what I mean? So it definitely, I mean, you know, like I said, I didn't want to do a total recap. I just want to kind of highlight the points I didn't like. So, you know what I mean? Let's see what happens next week. Now, I was underneath the impression that maybe they would have done some kind of end credit scene, you know, like midway or, you know, like here at the fourth episode mark. But I'm kind of confused on how they're doing their end credit scenes with these TV series now. You know what I mean? We don't know when they will do that. Plus, on top of that, if they don't ever do an end credit scene for this, I won't be mad at it. I mean, honestly, you know, if you don't want to keep doing the same thing, that's kind of predictable. But at the same time, the end credits kind of had us invested in next week. You know what I mean? You can end the series, or you can end the episode with, you know, some cliffhangers and stuff, but leave us with an extra cliffhanger sometimes. Just, you know, I think I wanted it more this week, just because I want them to start setting up, you know, New World Order, the Captain America movie and stuff. So we'll see what they'll do, man. But anyway, leave a comment down in the comment section. What did you think about this episode? Again, I wasn't going to do a recap, like a total recap. I just wanted to give my little thoughts and what I didn't like. Yeah. Anyway, leave a comment down in the comment section. Tomorrow, we're having a different type of Vitoverse. We're going live. So stay tuned for that for tomorrow, guys. I got a special guest along with my second co-host, Noto. So we'll just be going over some stuff. Such as what was it? E3? We call it E3 season? No. What do I call it? Game reveal season. There we go. I'm forgetting my own terms. Wow. Anyway, we're going over game reveal season with you know, our special guest. What we thought about this year's presentations. So, you know, if you're into that type of stuff, hey man, tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will see you then. Also, sorry for last week's Vitoverse. It got cut. We was having both. Me and Sandstorm at first was having some technical difficulties, or I was just having it or something. I don't know. Bottom line is, I got it fixed. We up. We good. So there shouldn't be no more problems live. So also too, I haven't released those trailers, like re-released my reactions. So I'll eventually get to that. Probably later on tomorrow or today or something like that. But stay tuned for all that, man. Until all of those times that I just said, I will see you later, guys. Peace.